It's beautiful, isn't it?
In the serenity of the Blue Ridge Mountains outside of Boone,
This is where we teach people blacksmithing.
there is a revolution afoot.
I made this out of an old broken wrench. You can see where it says Crescent on there.
Like Henry David Thoreau, Eustace Conway went into the woods because he wished to live deliberately.
I live in a much different way, and I'm glad for it.
He came to front the essential facts and see if he could learn what they had to teach, and then teach that to others.
Basically, we teach about all the old-timey ways of living.
Conway began buying up land outside Boone after he graduated from Appalachian State University there, and for the last quarter century has built a living history lesson and used it to teach hundreds of people how to live closer to nature. No electricity, and the only running water was set in motion by the guy who created it. Thoreau himself would feel at home here.
I picked up most all the same teachings before I ever heard of Thoreau. It's because they are the natural way.
But late last summer came his wake-up call. Thoreau may be an American icon, but living like Thoreau in the modern day has gotten Eustace Conway called a criminal. He's now fighting the local government to save his life's work here.
Come on in.
He travels into Boone to plead his case with county and state officials.
Socially, legally, politically, I'm not very familiar with this situation. I think they call it a fish out of water.
It's not something
That's what I feel like getting involved in something like this. Fish out of water.
nor the government seem to relish. But they sit behind closed doors for nearly 4 hours, where the government tells him everything he is doing is wrong.
Basically, I'm living like the American heritage pattern of all of our ancestors, and the modern world isn't, and they don't know how to accept me.
The county government has issued Eustace a cease and desist order, telling him to shut down his nature school, saying his buildings don't meet code.
I mean, this is supposed to be the land of the free. Government is supposed to help people protect their individual liberties and freedom. That's not what's happening here. So I'm thinking, my gosh, this is the country that I pledge allegiance to every day?
The county points out it is only looking to fulfill its duty to protect public health and safety and believes the camp can continue after meeting the state's requirements. But Eustace and his staff see those two aims as incompatible.
If we complied to everything that the county is requesting, we would cease to exist as we are. It's just not an option. We are inherently primitive. We are inherently educational. I also think that there should be some room for interpretation.
And in the past, apparently there was. Eustace says the county has inspected his property before and told him everything was fine.
We've never had anybody hurt by one of the buildings. We've never had any health issue here. And so, like after 26 years, that's a pretty strong statement.
Not for the government.
So here's our illegal bridge.
Because it only has one rail.
Basically about everything we do out here is illegal.
Eustace believes that the county is only looking for ways to tell him no, which is why he has little confidence that this is a battle that he can win.
I'm not confident I can win it. I'm confident I ought to win it. I'm confident it shouldn't be happening. But at this point, basically what the government told me today is, oh, you can't operate.
When Thoreau went to jail over his dispute with the government, he wrote that most men live lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still in them. Eustace Conway is willing to take his song to the verse that most men aren't.
This is something I've spent this much of my life on. I don't have that much left. If I have to die for this, I don't mind.
Putting real meaning into cease and desist.
Yeah, they probably think I'm crazy.
Bob Buckley. What you think?
I'm the one that can think.
Fox 8 News.
They can't. How about that?